What's going on? Brian Tong here, and iOS 16.4 is officially here. So is the new Apple Classical Music app, and we got new reports about changes to the AirPods this year and more. But we're going to start with what's new in iOS 16.4 with its official rollout. Now, we covered some of this when the beta was released, but now everyone can download the latest software update, and I'll highlight many of the big features that matter. Now, you know what I'm going to start with, right? Yeah, new emojis! There are 21 new ones in all, including a donkey, jellyfish, you got that super shook, confused face, you also have the maracas, and the speak to the hand emoji as other standouts. Also more colored hearts in light blue, gray, and pink, because everyone knows you gotta love emojis! Alright, another feature. Websites that you add to the home screen as a web app can now send you web push notifications, so you'll be able to see badges on these web apps as well as for alerts and notifications just like a regular app. And if you want to control them even more, notifications for home screen web apps can be part of your focus mode and then rolled into your daily summaries. Now, if you're an Apple Books user, the turning page, that curl animation, this is back as an option. Now, Apple had removed it, but iOS 16.4 brings that sexy animation back for those of you that are using Apple Books. Are any of you using Apple Books? Like, can you let me know in the comments? Because honestly, I don't know how many of you are out there. And also, I like to see your comments. Also, emergency SOS via satellite has now been expanded for use in Austria, Belgium, Italy, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Portugal to the iPhone 14 family with the release of the new OS. You'll also get more detailed timing when a satellite will be passing by with a specific hour and minute timeline when one will be in range for you. Now, across the board for all of Apple's new OS releases, that's including iPadOS 16.4, tvOS 16.4, macOS Ventura 13.3, well, you got the newest PlayStation 5 DualSense Edge controller that gets support to work with all of the Apple devices with their newest operating systems. Because you've got to use that more expensive gaming control that you just got as much as you can. Now, there's been voice isolation for FaceTime and other VoIP services that improves call quality. And now you can actually turn on the feature when you make a cellular call. So that makes a call sound a whole lot clearer, and I love this. Also, if you're part of Apple's developer program for their betas, you can now turn on developer betas directly from the software update section in the settings app instead of going through the process of installing a developer profile all the time. It's just a lot less of a hassle. And I don't know about you all, but recently, a lot more services have finally flipped on the switch and are taking advantage of the dynamic island and live activities. My recent Lyft showed me that the live activity status was right there on my lock screen, and then you got graphical tweaks to the dynamic island when using the Lyft app. You also got sports scores from the NBA, MLS, and others that are more prominent. It's just nice to see and feel that this feature is starting to really make my iPhone 14 Pro feel a little more alive and useful, which is what we all expected. But arguably the biggest release with iOS 16.4, or at least it was timed with 16.4, is the official release of Apple Classical Music. We have been waiting for it, and it is finally here to download. Apple Classical Music is its own standalone app that is separate from Apple Music, but you'll need an individual student or family subscription to Apple Music to use it. Now, it's a dedicated app designed specifically for classical music that is organized differently from standard music tracks and can be searched for by composer, work, conductor, and more. It is the world's largest classical music collection, and their browse section has a lot of unique options to search that you won't find on another music app. I love this section and the unique look for searching by instrument. You have kind of different artwork and icons for the instruments, or you scroll down, even different vocalists. And I don't know if you know, but I was a tenor in high school, and let me warm you up with something here, okay? Bumblebee, 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 bumblebee. Yeah, that's just a little sample, so you know what these pipes are capable of. It also offers high-res lossless at up to 129 kilohertz at 24-bit, and they say that thousands of their recordings are available in Dolby Atmos with spatial audio. So check it out. It's opening a whole new world of music for Apple Music users, and it's included in the subscription. And for me, come on, I love getting more content without a price increase, at least for now. Right, Apple? Right? Like, Apple Music is going to stay the same price for a while, right? Yeah? Okay. And there are plenty of other new features in iOS 16.4, like the duplicates album in Photos that now is expanding to detect duplicate photos and videos in an iCloud shared photo library. But I really just wanted to point out some of the main ones that will matter the most for you. All right, now let's jump over into the rumor reports. And analyst Ming-Chi Kuo claims that Apple plans to release a second generation AirPods Pro 2 that will come with a USB-C charging case later this year. Now that would update the current AirPods Pro 2 that have a lightning port on the charging case, and it's not clear if there will be any other changes, but the AirPods Pro 2 were my Apple product of the year for 2022, and they are so good, but no USB-C, and now potentially bringing USB-C this year? Really, Apple? I mean, come on, that kind of sounds like a whack Apple to me. Now, Quo also reports that Apple has no plans to release a new version of the third generation standard AirPods with a USB-C port. So that would mean you get new AirPods Pro for this year that would have the USB-C port charging case, while the AirPods 3 will keep its lightning port case. And that means we'll probably have to wait for, let's say, 4th generation AirPods before we see an update to its charging case. Great. Now, the big product that still has everyone's curiosity is Apple's rumored mixed reality AR and VR headset. Now, a recent report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman says that Apple showcased its new Reality Pro headset to the company's top 100 executives in the Steve Jobs Theater last week. It's a major milestone in the product's development, with a public announcement rumored to be happening in June. Now, the headset will reportedly start around $3,000, and that is hard for even the most dedicated Apple fan to be able to smile through that price point. But Gurman reports executives are striking a realistic tone within the company and understand that this isn't going to be a hit product out of the gate, and it could follow maybe a trajectory similar to the Apple Watch. But there's still a lot of challenges for it, right? The price point, that's number one, and seeing what it will actually do, the fidelity of the screens, and the experiences available, plus the fact that AR and VR, after all these years, still has not completely taken off with general consumers. I mean, the market for it is still pretty small, even with the Meta Quest 2 being the best offering today at $399, and that company has poured billions of dollars into making it a thing. I mean, they are banking on it for their future. And a report from the New York Times that interviewed 8 current and former Apple employees shows that maybe they aren't completely out of touch either. The tone of the reports paints a picture where some of Apple employees are seriously concerned about the mixed reality headset and going as far as being skeptical. I think that if Apple and the public is looking at this as the first step towards a potential new future, and it isn't going to just focus on sales numbers, which actually do matter, well, then, you know, they'll be okay with playing the slow game for this one, and we'll see how it all plays out. But obviously, not selling units is not how business works in most cases. But maybe we'll at least be able to pull nuggets of what Apple's vision is for a device like this and where it can potentially go in the future with their approach. I mean, can we even grasp that with this first one? You know, I've stayed true to my initial stance that even before the rumored price point came out, I'm curious, cautiously optimistic, and can't wait to see what they do. But at the same time, I'm still not sure what they can do to make me open my wallet and buy a $3,000 device that has to compete with my time that's already spent on streaming content, shows and movies, watching sports, playing games on mobile and gaming consoles, and then just life. Like, what is the experience that justifies that when I typically stay in VR for maybe 20 to 30 minutes tops if I don't get motion sickness before then? We'll see what Apple can do, and everyone is curious and waiting to find out. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and new ones every week with special guests. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you on the next video. Peace and love.